Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today is a bit of a spur of the moment kind of video. I wasn't actually planning on doing a vlog, but at the same time I haven't done one in a long time because I kind of ran out of ideas of what to do because I'm a new YouTuber. Essentially today I need to get my stuff together really. I need to get myself together and I need to get this house clean, because we've kind of been letting go a little bit in terms of the cleanliness of our house. Not that it's like filthy, but it's just things like clutter and we're not putting things away, and there is just so much that needs to be sort of done that I refuse to do. Not because of any particular reason other than that I just cannot be bothered. So I've been really struggling trying to find the motivation to clean things at the moment, so I'm gonna do it today because I probably won't get the motivation again, and I've got to tackle the sunroom, and I haven't, just because there's so much to do. I just haven't dealt with it, but I need to do it. So today we're gonna try to get some of it done. I'm not gonna set the goal that I'm gonna get it all done today. I'm setting the goal that some of it is going to get done. But like every other vlog of mine, it's going to start with a cup of coffee. I mean, I didn't do too bad yesterday. I mean, yesterday before we made dinner, my housemate and I just sort of did a quick spritz of the kitchen to clean it up a little bit. But breakfast has been left over, and it just needs another sort of go around, like that needs to be put away. I will show you this side of the room because that fell apart, so we had to get a new one. So that needs to go to the tip. That we're just going to ignore. Now this is what I mean by things not being put away. So we've got letters and envelopes that aren't in the envelope bin. We've got, well, I've just been playing with my Rubik's Cube. That I've got a file. That needs to be put away. This needs to be put away. Like, it's things like that. Just needs a bit of a clean, to be honest. So that's going to be done too. Now I'm going to show you the truly awful part, is this sunroom. That is also needs to go to the tip, that needs to go to the tip, and all of this needs sorting out. These are getting refabricated into this, which is lovely, but my mum's had to take the rest home because we only got 2 done out of the 4, and she's got the staple gun, so she's taken them home, and I've killed my plant already. So yeah, this is the hard part today, and I have been hiding this from you guys for at least 3 months. That is what I mean when I say I need to get my life together today. I've been ignoring it, so I think it's time. Whilst that is warming up, I'm gonna start getting my washing together because I need to do a wash as well. Oh, and I didn't even show you the bedroom. So the bedroom also needs a clean, needs a hoover, and I need to put things away because again I've refused. This is currently what we're working with. I've severely let go. When my room is like this, when my house is like this, this is when I know that I need to sort myself out. That's all clean, like I just haven't put it away. And I've hidden stuff in my wardrobe as well that also is clean but needs to be put away. I need to get my life together today. So first, I need to organise this. Oh my god, I need to do this. mustn't forget that coffee. That is like my favourite washing machine ever. It tells me when it's done. So excited. Also, outfit of the day, a plain t-shirt. Beautiful scarf that I picked up yesterday at Primark for £4. Win. Just a cardi. Some really nice black jeans tucked in and sporting some very fancy, well, not fancy at all, up from Primark again, just some normal boot socks. Because again, I just couldn't be bothered to get changed today or get ready. I just couldn't be bothered. So I went with comfort then fashion. Try to style up a little bit. I feel like a scarf does that. Alexa, what time does Sainsbury's close?
From today from 7 AM to 11 PM.
The random uses of Alexa.
And we have coffee.
Alexa, play It's Raining Men by the Weather Girls. That is one job out of like 1,000 that I've done. I think if I start with this room, I feel a bit better with myself. But this room is my responsibility, and the sun room is full of my stuff, so it's my responsibility. So I think those are the next two. God help me. So I was going to tell you this later, but if I'm going to fold laundry, then I may as well just tell you now. I'm sorry about you guys seeing my undies. Essentially, I have got a lot of gynecology problems. This time, no, I'd say it's about 14 months. I had a laparoscopy, which is a surgical procedure where they insert a camera into your belly. And they also inflate your stomach up so that they can have a little look around and see what's going on. So essentially I've had it since I was like first got my period, really, like really bad period pains, and I think it's been the last 2 years I start getting pain in between my periods that were like period pains, but like were really bad. So I wasn't on a period, but I had period pain. But it wasn't just that, it was pain going straight down both of my legs, around my back and my hips. I do have chronic joint pain, so I just thought it was that initially, but it just didn't add up and it wasn't the same kind of pain. And usually with my chronic joint pain, I get swelling as well in like the joints. So, and that wasn't happening. So it wasn't adding up, and then I was spotting in between my periods. Now for you guys out there, you're probably thinking, like, who have gone through what I've gone through, first signs of endometriosis. That's what my doctor initially thought as well, is that potentially I've got the starting of very minor endometriosis. So anyway, it took about 1.5 years of monitoring, of doing like pain charts and like period monitoring, like when I have my period, and scans and samples and blood tests and things like that. And eventually they concluded that I have I have cysts on my ovaries, but that's not uncommon. Every woman gets cysts on their ovaries, and it's absolutely fine. A lot of people don't have problems with their, like, having cysts on their ovaries, but my ones they weren't large. I had one ovary larger than the other, and I had lots of little cysts, so there was, like, completely covered my ovaries with cysts. And so I would have times where I'll be in absolute agony all of a sudden, and that would be because one of the cysts would burst. So, which in itself is not a problem. You feel probably very weak and sore for the first few days after it's burst, and it's just sudden sharp pain. It's only a problem if the cyst bursts on top of a blood vessel and then you just bleed heavily. That's when you need emergency surgery and to go into hospital. When a cyst just normally bursts and there's no other complications or problems, then you can just treat yourself at home. I've had quite a few of those happen, and eventually they said the scans are inconclusive for endometriosis, and the only real way of determining if I do have endometriosis alongside these cysts, then I need an operation. So I had it done in a private hospital because it was sooner, under the NHS, and it was very quick. It was only like an hour's surgery. It's very minor, you can go home the same day unless there's complication. I came round and she confirmed that I didn't have any endometriosis. My endometrium was fine, and the endometrium is the lining of the womb. Endometriosis is where part of that lining of the womb grows outside of the uterus, and it can actually merge organs together, which would require either an ovary being removed or a hysterectomy, so the entire uterus being cut out. And nothing wrong with my endometrium. It was completely clear, but there were signs of polycystic ovaries, but not the syndrome. Essentially, polycystic ovaries is just another way of saying you've got lots of little cysts on your ovaries. The syndrome is where you've got things like excessive hair, and like other problems as well. I don't know the full ins and outs of that because I don't have it. And they inserted the coil whilst I was like passed out, which I was so thankful for, in the hope that it will regulate hormones for me to reduce the amount of cysts I've got to prevent me getting pain. I saw her in December, and at that point for me, what's wrong with my voice? At that point it was too early. I re-saw her in December, and it was too early for me to tell if the coil was doing its job. And essentially she said it can take up to a year for the coil to kick in and to do its job. So she was going to discharge me with the sort of plan to re-see her within a 12 months time if I still have pain and I'm not getting any better. So I was happy with that. That was fine. I still continued to have pain. It wasn't really going away, but at that point I kind of went, they can't really do anything else. They've had the operation. I'm completely clear. It's not been a year yet either, so maybe it's still doing its work, so I won't worry about it. So I was still in pain. I was walking around with a hot water bottle at work. I couldn't walk sometimes because of how much pain I was in. Everyone at work was saying either call NHS 111 or go to A&E, or to go back to the doctors to get referred to the gynecologist, because I was just in absolute agony. And I said no, because I've still got a year left. So anyway, we battled with that, essentially, with me being a bit stubborn, and also me thinking it's not been a year yet, and if it's not right in a year, then yes, I will go back. Anyway, the turning point for me at that was in June, which was when I was filming my moving in vlog. And you can see in some of the videos I've got a hot water bottle, and I'm in like not joggers, but like slouchy trousers and top. And I think it was when I was building the coffee table that I had just been in hospital for that night. I was in normal pain, but it was just progressively getting worse. I managed to get through the day at work with a hot pad, but it was just getting worse. So I took my mefenamic acid, which is a tablet that they gave me for the pain. So I took it, I had my hot water bottle, and I was still in agony. I was like curled up in the fetal position, almost wanting to scream in pain. So I thought, okay, let's call NHS 111 because this is not normal. Described them my pain, etc. And so obviously the red flags, because I usually get the pain in the right and then it spreads across, which is a common sign of appendicitis, which I have been tested for numerous times before, and has always come back clear. And the operation also showed that at that time my appendix was absolutely fine. So anyway, they got concerned and were just like, okay, we're going to get a nurse to call you, and they'll call you back in about 15 minutes if that's okay. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. So 15 minutes later they gave me a call back. So she rang me back and said, can you get yourself to the hospital, the local hospital? And I was like, yeah, okay. And she's like, can you get here in 15 minutes? I was like, yeah, that's fine. So I drove there because 2 of my housemates were out at that time, and then my other housemate was up really early for work the next day. So I took myself there. Probably shouldn't have, but it was like a 5-minute drive, and I thought, you know, it's probably just gonna be nothing, I'll go and they'll just like prescribe me something maybe. So anyway, I went to the hospital, saw the out of hours GP, managed to get some tracksuit bottoms on just about to get there, because none of my jeans would fit, like none of my clothing was fitting because I just couldn't. I was just so swollen as well with it. So anyway, went to the hospital, saw the out of hours GP, and she felt around my tummy, got my history, and then she was just like, okay, let's have a feel. She felt my tummy and she called it guarding, which essentially is where something is wrong with your stomach, and so your muscles just seize up and contract to protect the internal bits and bobs in your body. And that's essentially what my stomach was doing. It decided to go into guarding mode to protect what was underneath, which is not good. That's usually when something is wrong. So she was concerned about that, and so she called the other hospital, which has an A&E, and said, can I speak to surgery please? And I was like, whoa, okay. They unfortunately were scrubbed in, so they couldn't actually talk to me at that time or talk to the doctor. And she went, okay, you need to go to A&E, and you need to go to A&E now. I went, why? And she was like, you either got, because of the guarding, you've either got appendicitis, or you've got internal bleeding or some form of infection that is causing you to be in so much pain and feel so unwell, or which requires surgery. And I was like immediately, and I was like, wow, okay. She was like, can you get there, or do you want me to call an ambulance? Now, the last thing I wanted was to go whisk away into an ambulance and then get stuck into another town. So I went, I'll drive, it's fine. So I managed to drive 30 minutes in absolute agony and got to A&E. So at this point it is 10 o'clock at night. So I had already done a full day at work and had been awake since 4 in the morning that day. So I'm pretty tired. Got there, and I was just in so much pain I couldn't even talk. She gave me a piece of paper with her sort of, not diagnosis, but basically outlining what the symptoms and what was wrong with me, and I literally just like shakily handed it to them, feeling awful. So anyway, they got the piece of paper, they had a look at it, and they said, okay, someone will see you for triage. So I saw triage, they took my blood pressure, my temperature, all of that stuff, which was all normal. of course, and my sample was normal, blood test came back normal, that sort of stuff. Anyway, saw them. They then set up a cannula for me, took some bloods, but didn't give me any pain relief. So I was still in absolute agony. I managed to stay there until 5 in the morning, at which point I called work, because I was supposed to start work at 8 in the morning that day, slightly later, to say, by the way, I'm in A&E and I've been up for over 24 hours. I'm not going to make it to work. Bearing in mind it's like an hour's drive away and I had been up for so long. So they were like, oh my goodness, no, that is fine. Let us know, like, you know, what's the problem? Let us know when you get discharged and when you get home, so that they knew I was safe. So went back in, got seen by a doctor. I got seen by a doctor who was the one that I was supposed to see, which was the theatre doctor, to determine whether or not I needed immediate surgery. So he felt my tummy and he determined, no, she doesn't need immediate surgery, it's not appendicitis, which I knew it wasn't because I didn't have the other symptoms like throwing up, having a temperature, things like that. So they determined, right, okay, no immediate surgery required. I don't have an infection because my blood test came back clear and there is no internal bleeding from what they can tell. So they then made me see a gynecologist. So I saw a gynecologist at the hospital. She also determined that there's no infection going on with my uterus. There is no internal bleeding either. And basically said, you need to get re-referred to your gynecologist. Here is some really strong cocodamol that, you know, get prescribed, and go see your GP. So after all that, I drove home, obviously called my work to tell them I was discharged. It was 6 in the morning. Got all the way home, got home at about 8 o'clock that day and just went straight to bed. But then I had to wake up because the delivery for the coffee table came, so then I had to go and build that. And to be honest, I was bored. I'm not one of those people that can stay in bed when she's ill. So yeah, that was essentially breaking point for me, and that's when I went, no, okay, I need to go see the gynecologist. So went to the doctors, got referred to see the gynecologist, got a date, then I had to rebook that date because I couldn't make it, and then saw them last week. So she determined that the coil is in the right place because I had scans done as well. Coil's in the right place, so that's not causing me a problem. There is no cysts on my ovaries that would be causing the pain. The endometrium is fine. Like, everything looks fine, so we don't know why you're getting this pain. So she then said that she's going to give me an injection in my stomach, which was not comfortable. Injection is going to put on the menopause, completely reversible, not permanent, and I have to have the injection every 4 weeks for the next 3 months. So this injection, Zolaflex, something like that, is going to tell her, like, if I get no pain as a result of this injection being given, then it's going to tell her something like there's a hormone imbalance or something like that. And that means when I see her back in January, because I could get it done at my local GP, like, that will tell her that I would have some form of hormone imbalance and that I need to have another form of treatment as well as the coil to make my pain go away of some sort. If it's not that, if having the injection doesn't fix my pain, then when I see her in January, we've just got to rethink about what potentially this could be. Do I need to get referred anywhere else or whatever, and just look into it a bit more and have to reassess then. So that's essentially where we're at. So I've had my first round of injections at the gynecologist last week. Didn't go to plan. I by accident bled like everywhere. I managed to get the stain out actually. It was on this top, but I just bled everywhere, which wasn't supposed to happen. But it's in the tummy, so it's not comfortable. I'm all right with needles though. It's quite a big needle, but I'm all right with needles, so it doesn't bother me at all. and I need to have another one done in 4 weeks time. She said it takes up to 2 months for it to fully get into my body, but essentially I'm going to have menopausal symptoms, so hopefully my periods would stop. Thank you. Which I'm really excited about because my periods have been constant. Essentially I'm always bleeding sometime at some point in my life, so I've got a lot of, all I own is basically period underwear. So I have no periods, or I shouldn't have any periods, but I will suffer also hot flushes. So my mum is currently going through the menopause, and I'm going to go through the menopause now for the next 3 months, and we are going to be an absolute nightmare. We're going to be going through it together, so that is why I think I suddenly got really hot, like sweating hot, and I'm going to have to put my camera on charge so I can film the rest of this vlog. So I'll finish this laundry and I'll catch up with you guys in a bit when my thing is charged and I have done some form of progress. But that is essentially the story of my health. See you in a bit. So, camera's back charged and I've been very busy. Finished my room. Apart from the, oh, let's focus. Focus camera. Apart from the washing basket, I have a clean room now and clean counters. I've also had lunch and have now dismantled the coffee table that was very broken. So I'm gonna go do a tip run. I'm just gonna go, ow, do a tip run because there's quite a lot that needs to go in the tip. Like boxes and stuff, and I left my boots upstairs and things like that, so there's quite a lot that needs to go. So I want to do the tip run today, and hopefully then that'll allow me to do some sorting. I'm sure there'll be another tip run at some point with the stuff that I'll need to go through, but at least the big stuff will be gone, so I'll be able to start sorting out what I've got and just basically give me some space to do what I need to do. So tip run, I've got a voucher for Sainsbury's, so I'm going to do some food shopping there and come back and then sort out the rest of the sunroom. She says that and then her phone tells her that her washing is complete, so it's now on to the next. I'm very hot now, as you can see. We're full, so off to the tip we go. Can't see it, but you can really hear it, that it is properly hammering it down, and it's gone very dark. But essentially I didn't get very far with the sunroom, so that is going to get tackled. That's going to get tackled another day. There's just so much. Basically that box I need to go through. I cleared that's charity. That is my treasure box and I need to go through it, and then I've still got all of this, but this is now being used as a place to put our stuff from when we walk in. I think I'm going to end today's vlog here because, as you can see from the bags under my eyes, I am completely knackered, so I will end it here and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.